Hey there, fellow believers! Welcome back to our Bible verse vlog series, where we dive into the Word of God and explore its wisdom and guidance. Today, we're going to delve into the book of Psalms, specifically chapter 74, verses 1 to 23. The book of Psalms is a treasure trove of spiritual insight and guidance, and chapter 74 is no exception. It's a beautiful reminder of God's power and love, and it's a great way to start our day with a dose of inspiration. Psalm 74 verses 1-23 in the King James Version is a lament and prayer following the destruction of the temple by Nebuchadnezzar and the Babylonian army. The psalmist expresses anguish at the destruction, questioning God's silence and anger, while also praising his past power and pleading for restoration and justice for his people. Verses 1-11, lament and questioning God's actions. Verses 1-3. The psalmist laments that God has cast them off and that his anger is burning against his people, who are like sheep in his pasture. He urges God to remember his people and the land he had redeemed. Verses 3-8. He describes the enemy's destruction of the sanctuary, including burning it and desecrating it, and their mockery of God. Verses 9-11, the psalmist expresses their despair, seeing no prophets or signs of God's help, and questioning how long the enemies will blaspheme God's name. Verses 12-17, acknowledging God's power. Verses 12-17, the psalmist acknowledges God's power and the wonders he has performed, such as splitting the Red Sea during the Exodus, creating the sea, and controlling the sun and the moon. He remembers God's might over Leviathan and the ancient kings. Verses 18-23, plea for restoration and justice. Verses 18-23, the psalmist pleads for God to intervene, to restore his sanctuary, and to bring justice to his enemies. He asks God to remember his people and the uproar of their oppressors. Context and meaning. Historical context. This psalm likely reflects the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem by the Babylonians, which caused immense grief and despair among the Israelites. Theological themes. The psalm explores themes of suffering, faith, and hope. It acknowledges God's power while also grappling with the suffering of his people and questioning his actions. It also highlights the importance of remembering God's past actions and trusting in his future deliverance, prayer, and lament. Psalm 74 is a powerful example of a lament prayer, where the psalmist expresses his sorrow, questions God's silence, and then pleads for restoration and justice. As we read through these verses, let's take a moment to reflect on the incredible blessings that God has bestowed upon us. Let's also remember to be grateful for the many ways that God has shown his love and protection in our lives. Thank you for joining us today in this spiritual journey. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Bible verse vlogs. Stay blessed, and we'll see you in the next one.